and welcome to another Juice TV virtual visit. My name is Ellen, I'm from the Juice crew, and we have so much excitement in store for you today. So thank you for joining us, whether you're in hospital, at home, or tuning in from your hospital school, which is exactly where our superstar hosts are calling in from today. So let's give it up for the Queensland Children's Hospital School. Hello, everyone. We have an incredible guest joining us today. He's an AFL legend, a community leader, and a children's author. And here he is. It's Adam.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are we? Oh, look at that. Great.
So, Adam, it gives me a lot of pleasure to introduce you to the children at the Queensland Children's Hospital School here. Everyone meet Adam. Big waves for Adam, everyone. There we go. So we've got prep right through to year 5 here with us today, Adam. And as you can see, your book is at the forefront there. They've read it very recently. Awesome. Well, we're going to kick off with a bit of an acknowledgement of country today. So I know some of our superstar hospital students are going to come forward and do that for us.
Queensland Children's Hospital School acknowledges the Turrbal and Yagara people as the traditional custodians of this country and recognize their continued connection to land, sea, and culture.
We pay respects to elders past, present, and emerging, who guide us with their knowledge and memories. We acknowledge that our community includes First Nations people from across Australia, and we welcome and pay respect to their cultures.
Oh, so beautifully read. Thank you so much. And as we know, it's very important to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, which we now call Australia. And of course, Adam, that is the very message which is so beautifully shared in your book, Somebody's Land, which I've got a copy of here, and we also have in the school. Do you want to hold up the book in the school there at the front? There we go. And Adam's got his copy as well. We absolutely love this book, and also your second book, Ceremony, which is in your Welcome to Our Country series, Adam. And I know that the hospital students have lots of questions to ask you today, but we thought that we'd start with a very special reading of the book. So students, what do you reckon? Should we ask Adam to give us a reading of Somebody's Land?
Yes!
Wow.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of keen readers here, Adam.
I love it. Thank you so much. And if you remember the words, please read along with me. I've got my book here as well, Somebody's Land. But before I start reading, I too would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land and where I'm meeting today. And I'm on the land of the Gadigal Bidjigal people of the Eora Nation here in Sydney. Just outside this window here, I can see the Sydney airport. So that's Gadigal land where I am in Sydney. I'm a very proud Adnyamatna Narunga man from South Australia. So I've been living on Gadigal land for 24 years. So I'd like to pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging, like a lot of you in that room are emerging. Okay, let's get into it. Somebody's land. Does anyone know whose land it is? Whose?
It's the Aboriginal's land.
Aboriginal people's land, that's right. Now, when you write your own book, you can put whatever you like in it. So I've put a really good picture of me and my daughter Adelaide. It's my daughter Adelaide sitting on my lap there. And also you can see Ellie with her 2 boys, Harvey and Lewis, and David sitting there as well with his 2 children sitting on the ground. So let's get into it, shall we? For thousands and thousands of years, Aboriginal people lived in the land we now call Australia. The land is where people built their homes, played in the sun, and sat together to tell stories. Just like we're doing, sitting together telling stories. When the white people came, they called the land Terra Nullius. They said it was nobody's land, but it was somebody's land. Thousands and thousands of years, Aboriginal people lived in the land we now call Australia. The land is where people cared for the rivers and the seas, collected shells to share, and caught fish and mud crabs to eat. When the white people came, they called the land Terra Nullius. They said it was nobody's land, but it was somebody's land. For thousands and thousands of years, Aboriginal people lived in the land we now call Australia. The land is where people designed their tools, sharpened their spears, and threw boomerangs into the air. When the white people came, they called the land Terra Nullius. They said it was nobody's land. Who's tried to throw a boomerang before? Put your hand up. Few people? Yeah, nice. Maybe that's something we can do once we get outside. Thousands and thousands of years, Aboriginal people lived in the land we now call Australia. The land is where people spied tracks on the ground, hunted food to eat, and only took from country what they needed. When the white people came, they called the land Terra Nullius.
They said it was nobody's land, but it was somebody's land.
Excellent. For thousands and thousands of years, Aboriginal people lived in the land we now call Australia. The land is where people gathered seeds and berries for bush tucker and shared secret knowledges with family at sacred sites. When the white people came,
They called it Terra Nullius. They said it was nobody's land, but it was somebody's land.
for thousands and thousands of years, Aboriginal people lived in the land we now call Australia. The land is where people painted their faces, carved teachings into rocks, and danced to awaken their ancestors. When the white people came, they
called it Terra Nullius. They said it was nobody's land, but it was somebody's land.
These are my favourite pages, these ones. For thousands and thousands of years, Aboriginal people lived in the land we now call Australia. The land is where people lit fires to keep warm, saw their dreaming in the moon and stars, and made music into the night. When the white people came, they called the land Terra Nullius.
But they said it was nobody's land, but it was someone's land.
It was Aboriginal land.
People.
It is Aboriginal land and always will be Aboriginal land. There you go, everybody. That is somebody's land. Hope you enjoyed that reading.
That was wonderful, and I loved all the reading along as well in the Queensland Children's Hospital School. So I think we all deserve a big round of applause for that one. Incredible. And to finish up today's very special virtual visit, the students have one more passing message they'd like to share.
It always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
Well said, well said. Amazing. Oh, well, thank you so much, Adam. This has been an incredible experience. And to all of our superstar students at the Queensland Children's Hospital School, thank you for joining us as well.
Can I just say, good work with keeping up with your education and getting to class. But just remember, I used to play football. Not once did I ever think that I might write a book, let alone 5 books. Everybody can write stories and be creative. So maybe you can have a go at writing a special story that you might like to read out to the group one day. Some more homework for you. All right. Thanks, everybody. It's lovely to see you all.
Big waves, everyone.
Bye,